सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan introduces himself as the Lord of the entire universe, Lord of the inner world and the Lord of the outer world. When we meditate upon that Lord of the inner world, then that is called as yoga. That Lord who is supporting everyone. When we meditate upon that Lord as a Lord of the outer world, the one who is residing in the hearts of everyone. So when we meditate upon that Lord while transacting with the world, then that is called as Vibhuti. Vibhuti and yoga. In short, that Lord is the Lord of the inner world and the Lord of the outer world. So the wise people meditate upon this Lord. All their activities are centered around that Lord. They perform everything for God. They speak about God. They think about God, reflect upon God. Bhagavan says, to such single-pointed devotees, wholehearted devotees, I give them the highest experience. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. What is that experience? The highest experience of Aham Brahma Asmi, or Tattvamasi. The experience that Jiva and Brahma, they are not two different things. They are one and the same. We experience our oneness with the reality. We experience our oneness with the Lord who is Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. So here one metaphor is used. Bhagavan says, I light the lamp of knowledge and destroy the darkness of ignorance which is there in their hearts. So this metaphor we have been discussing for the last few classes. So what is the comparison? The diya, the vessel, is the dispassion of the mind. The oil is the devotion in the mind. The wick is the disciplined intellect. So up to this, we had seen in the last class, when we live a disciplined life, living a life of our conviction, implementing whatever we have understood as right into our daily lives, then that intellect becomes strong, that wick is able to handle the flame. So now, the air which is present, the oxygen, is compared with regular meditation. The regularity in meditation is the air. Just like the air is needed every moment for the flame to exist, in the same way, regularity of meditation is necessary to keep up this flame of meditation. This is true with every aspect of life, not only meditation. Every day we must do our exercise, our yoga, pranayama, jogging, whatever it is. Only then the body is fit. Once in a while will not do. Regularity is essential. In studies also, regularity is essential. Eating also, regularity is essential. Sleeping also, regularity is essential. In the same way, in meditation also, we must be regular if we have to progress. Right. Next we come to this lid. What is this lid? This covering lid. So the external breeze can affect the flame. So therefore, in order to protect that flame from the external breeze, wind, etc., we put a lid, a covering lid. So what is that lid? The ability of the mind to remain undisturbed amidst ups and downs of life. So that is the external wind. So it can be a breeze, it can be a wind, it can be even a storm. That is not in our control. What is happening in the outer world is not in our control. Heat, cold, joyful, sorrowful situations, victory, defeat, gain, loss, health, disease, birth, death, honor, dishonor, praise, criticism. So this is the external breeze or wind or storm. Now, what is the effect of this breeze or storm to this flame? So it all depends upon the covering lid. Suppose there is no lid, then we can't even light that lamp. The moment we light it, it is put off by that strong wind. But suppose the covering lid is very strong, then the flame remains even in a storm. So this ability of the mind to remain unaffected by the outer ups and downs, at least at the seat of meditation, this is the covering lid. Now, based on the strength of the covering lid, we can divide the situation into three. Number one, no lid at all. So when there is no lid, what happens? There is no flame also. The moment you try to light it, it is put off by the external wind. We can't even light it. That is situation number one. Situation number two, the covering lid is not very strong, but medium. Then what will happen? We are able to light that lamp. Flame is there, but that flame is a wavering flame. This is situation number two. So situation number one, no flame. Situation number two, an unsteady flame. Situation number three, where the covering lid is very strong. So at that time, the flame is steady. So no flame, unsteady flame, steady flame. These are the three situations. So how can it be compared? Yes. So the mind which is completely affected by the ups and downs of life, that is the first condition. So at the seat of meditation, what we will be doing? We will be constantly thinking about what has happened in our life. the various situations we are facing. The mind will be either thinking about the past, or the mind will be either thinking about, or it will be thinking about the future. What will I do? How will I overcome this situation? Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Then there is no flame at all. The mind is either in the past or in the future. Worrying, tensed, anxious, full of regret, guilt, etc. No meditation is possible. So that is no flame situation. But as a sadhaka grows in meditation, grows in spirituality, grows in his sadhana, slowly, 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 he is able to go within. He is able to detect the negative line of thinking. He is able to detect when the mind goes out, forgetting the Lord, away from one's own spiritual center. He is able to detect these things, and he is able to bring back the mind. So that is that unsteady flame. So what is unsteady flame? It is getting affected by the external happenings, but it is not getting completely affected by the external happenings. So once in a while the mind will go out, think about the world, worry about the world, but suddenly he is able to see that mind is thinking unnecessary things. He is able to bring back the mind. Again, when the mind is brought back, there is peace, there is happiness, there is joy, there is clarity, but again the mind goes away. Again the mind is wandering. Again he brings back the mind. Yato yato nischarati manaschanchalam asthiram tatastato niyamyetat atmanyeva vasham nayet. So he is a sadhaka level. This is how we all grow. That no flame should become an unsteady flame. That itself is a great progress. At least the flame is alive. It is not put off. 50% of the time it is going out, another 50% is coming in. In the beginning, even if 1 minute out of that 1 hour, if it comes in, that itself is a great achievement, because that 1 minute is enough to recharge yourself, to correct yourself. So that is called as unsteady flame. Getting affected by the situation, but the knowledge that which you have gained in our study classes, in our discourses, all that knowledge, the knowledge we have gained from our scriptures, that knowledge is helping me to balance myself, to correct my thinking once in a while, and that itself is a great saving grace. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In the second chapter, Bhagavan says, even if you practice a little, Arjuna, it will be of great help. So once in a while, this charging is necessary. Yes. So at the seat of meditation, we have this unsteady flame. But as our meditation progresses, as our sadhana progresses, slowly, slowly we become more and more steady. Slowly, slowly, one part of the mind becomes rooted in the self within, rooted in God within. External situations are no more as important as internal connection. We come to know that if I am rooted in my spiritual center, if I am rooted in God within, then actually speaking, I can be happy even in the most unconducive environment. Even when things are going sixes and sevens externally, but if I'm rooted in that spiritual center, I can be happy in spite of all unconducive situations. Slowly, slowly, this wisdom dawns in, and as a result of it, deep down, I remain connected to my spiritual center. So then what happens? What happens is, even though there is a storm outside, the flame is steady inside. Yatha deepo nivathastha na ingate sa upama smrita. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. Meditation. How should be the mind of a yogi? Yogino yatachittasya yunjato yogamatmanaha. The yogi who is practicing yoga, meditation, over a period of time, his mind becomes like a steady flame. Nivatastha deepa. Na ingate, it doesn't waver. Sa upama. That is a metaphor given. Just like the flame which is placed in a breezeless spot, that flame is motionless. The flame is there but doesn't move. In the same way, the mind of the yogi is like a steady flame directed towards God, unaffected by the ups and downs of the world. So, this is the comparison given. This is what we have to attain in life. This is the challenge. So, the challenge is not having a steady flame away from the world. The challenge is having a steady flame even while living in this world, facing the ups and downs of the world. This is the highest attainment, and that is why Bhagavad Gita is given in the middle of the battle. That state of mind has to be cultivated in our battlefield. Professional field, family field, they are all battlefields for us. Amidst all these situations, amidst difficult people, amidst difficult situation, can we keep the mind steady? Samatvam yoga uchyate. What is yoga? Equanimity of mind. All of us are in the battlefield. Dharma kshetre, Kuru kshetre it is. We are all in the battlefield. We all have our battle to wage. In the battlefield, keeping that mind as a steady flame. This is the challenge. Of course, it doesn't come in a day or two. Regular practice is necessary. We don't want storm, but we want that oxygen. That is necessary. So, even amid storm, keeping that flame steady. This is a challenge. It comes with practice. Regularity in meditation. Okay. So this is what we have to do. But in the beginning, even if the flame is there, that is enough. Compared to no flame, unsteady flame is far better, because even in that unsteady flame, there is at least light. Once in a while, if you are able to come back, in the workplace, we may not be able to meditate upon God, remember God, that is absolutely fine. But at least before the day begins, if you are able to connect God, again after the end of the day, if you are able to connect God once, at least twice in a day, morning and evening. Evening it will be a little difficult, morning is the right time. Even once in a day, if you are able to connect to God, it will be a great achievement, because there is little light, and that light will protect us from all dangers. But over a period of time, with regular practice, this light remains throughout the day. At the seat of meditation, it also becomes steady. This is what we have to achieve. The more and more we hold on to God, the more and more this flame becomes steady. Right. Now, when the flame is there, so flame is knowledge, and that flame gives out light, and in that light, everything becomes clear. So, in the last class, we were discussing what all things become clear. So, number one, we were talking about 6 points. Number 1, Jiva. Number 2, Jagat. Number 3, Ishvara. Number 4, Bandhana. Number 5, Sadhana. Number 6, Moksha. 6 topics becomes very clear in that light of knowledge. So number 1, Jiva. Who am I? So in darkness, I misunderstand myself to be this body. That is not knowledge. That is nothing but darkness only. But in that light of knowledge, it becomes very clear that I am not this physical body, I am pure consciousness. Exactly like, so this is a very common example given in our scriptures. Like the pot space. So that space inside the pot thinks that I am limited to this pot. Pot is the body. But with the right understanding, that pot space come to know that, oh, I have nothing to do with the pot. I am that total space. In fact, the pot is existing in me. It is not true that I am existing inside the pot. So the pot space in its ignorance think that when the pot breaks, I am dead and gone. But later on in its wisdom, it comes to know that I have nothing to do with the pot. Today the pot is, tomorrow the pot will not. But I as space has nothing to do with presence or absence of pot. So this is called the wisdom of pot space. In the same way, with this knowledge, we come to know I have nothing to do with this body. Today this body is there, tomorrow this body will not be there, but I as consciousness has nothing to do with this body. So this right understanding about oneself, this happens with this knowledge. This is Jiva Vichara. The second one is Jagat Vichara. Jagat, what is this world? Today in my ignorance, I think the world is absolutely real. In my ignorance, I think I am in the world. World is ever there. I come and go. World is real. World is eternal. This is my understanding in my ignorance. But what is the right understanding which dawns after knowledge? I come to know the whole world is nothing but the projection of the mind. Exactly like the dream world. In the dream world appears to be very real, but once I wake up, I come to know it is just a projection of the mind. So, what is important is not the projected world. What is important is the support for projection, and that support for projection, the basis, the substratum for projection is the consciousness. This consciousness is ever there. In the presence of projection or in the absence of projection, this basis, this substratum is ever there. The reality is ever there, and that reality is consciousness. This clarity, this understanding comes with knowledge. Jiva, Jagat, and then comes Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Lord. When the universe itself has become just a mere projection, Lord of the universe also becomes a mere projection. There is nothing called Lord. There is only this pure consciousness, the basis of Jiva and Jagat, which is the Lord. So everything, all the three, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all the three, they reduce to this one thing called consciousness. This is what happens with right understanding. And then, naturally, what is bandhana? Bandhana is this wrong notion that I am this body. So bondage is not real. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Mind alone is the cause of bondage and liberation. So what is bondage according to Vedanta? This wrong notion that I am this body, this wrong notion is bondage. So therefore, bondage is not real. Bondage is imagined. Bondage is a wrong notion in the mind. So this is the right understanding about bondage. bandhana. So naturally, what should be the sadhana to come out of this bondage? Wrong notion is a cause of bondage, imaginary bondage. So therefore, right understanding becomes the means to come out of bondage. Right understanding about oneself. What is the right understanding? I am pure consciousness, which has nothing to do with the physical body. This is the right understanding. See, all these things come only when we cultivate devotion for God. Yes. So this is what Bhagavan says, I light up the lamp of knowledge. As Jivatmas, our job is to cultivate purity of mind, live a wonderful life, live a life of purity, of compassion, of love, of service. This is our job. Lighting the lamp is Bhagavan's job. All this understanding that I am not this body, everything, it has to come from Bhagavan. He lights up the lamp of knowledge and makes us aware of all this. So the sadhana we have to do is purification of mind, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, etc. With all humility, with all surrender, with all obedience. When we bow down to God, Bhagavan makes all these things clear to us. Okay, so bandhana over, moksha over. Sadhana over. Now the last is moksha. Moksha means liberation. What is liberation? Liberation is nothing but freedom from this wrong notion that I am this body. Right understanding that I am pure consciousness. This firm understanding is what is called as moksha. And that is what that steady flame represents. Whatever be the ups and downs of life, my understanding about myself is very, very clear. My understanding is I am pure consciousness. That steadiness in understanding is what is called as steadiness in the flame. Sthita prajna. In the second chapter, that is the term used. Man of steady wisdom. Sthita. Sthita means firm, which can never change, which can never waver, depending upon situation. Sthita prajna, wisdom. So the whole of spirituality is nothing but trying to make our wisdom firm, steady, unwavering, like that flame. So with this, we end up the discussion on metaphor. Now comes certain questions by Arjuna, which we will take up in the next class. Hari Om. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.